And the radio station came on the air, and I was like, oh, I know this music. So I was the president of the ski club. I know, just don't even get me started. So worked in a rock club, president of the ski club, and so the radio station came on the air, and I said, hey, I like this. You guys have an internship program, and they're like, oh, we're thinking of doing that. So I was the first one. So, you know, what's a bad idea? I was like, so you're gonna let me hang with rock stars, I get to go drink at bars for free, and I get to do this? I'm like, okay. Well, that was 27 years ago. I went from intern to assistant promotions director, marketing director, director of operations, general manager, president, and then I bought the company 7 years ago. So, mailroom to the boardroom kind of story. So if you have questions about the radio station, later I can give you a really long dissertation that probably is going to bore you guys or make you go, holy shit, we need to do this, or I'm running away scared. You'll get both of that. So asking about what rock star, I've met so many over the years. It's really hard for me to say because to me, I really enjoy meeting people, and meeting musicians is something that I find to be very special because they're very creative. So, you know, name someone, I'd probably tell you like, oh, I've not met them or I have met them. So if they fit within the genre of the radio station that we play, the format that is this sort of alternative station, I possibly met them at some point in this 27 years. So I can't answer that. That's like asking what my favorite band or song is. I'm gonna be like, don't have one.
Yeah. Okay.
It's whatever I'm listening to now and whatever I'm enjoying at the moment.
Okay.
So sorry, too vague, too broad.
That's okay.
I need to like pinpoint.
All right, name a few this past year.
Few past year. Let's see. Met the Pixies. Violet Femmes had met them before and I'd never met the Pixies. It's too many. Lollapalooza, you know, that's 25 artists in one day.
Okay.
Microcosmo, Low Moon, Ron Gallo, Hosier, you name it. So, but that doesn't make me cool. That just makes me someone in the right place at the right time. So, don't assume that makes me anything more than just to do the long hair that runs a radio station.
I mean, it's a cool experience.
It is. It's a lot of work though. My interest in you guys is radio, because that's Grayson tells you guys are radio. I'm like, well, it's cool. So I love meeting people that are interested in radio. So I actually want to know more about you guys as opposed to what you guys probably know about me, because I'm interested in radio people. Because we're a very weird breed. Because there's not just one part of radio. There's on air, but there's marketing, there's promotions, there's management, there's sales. There's people that have to pick the music, the people that have to run the music, the people that have to sell the music, the people that have to market this music, the people that have to brand it and promote it. So there's a lot more to the radio station than just sort of this monosyllabic, you know, I love radio. It's extremely dynamic and diverse. So I'm really interested in you guys of what you do because I see potential to find the right people and say, hey, who wants to do stuff in radio beyond just what you're doing in college as a hobby, if that's what you're doing, to waste time and spend your days not hanging out in the bar or playing video games, or is this something that you actually want to get into as a career? So that's where my interest is, why I wanted Grayson to invite me, which he did so graciously. Thanks to Grayson.
Thank you.
So ask me questions about radio, and don't be shy. I'm really shy. Yo, go.
Hey, what's the biggest challenge you've faced over the last 7 years as an owner?
The last 7 years.
Yeah. Well, that's how long you've built it, right?
I would say 7 years ago, 10 years ago, my biggest competition was other radio stations in the market. And that has changed. That has completely changed within the past 10 years because now my biggest competition is Spotify and all of the other sort of things that take your time away, that take away a 25-year-old's time. I have to look and see what are the things that I need to shoot for that are going to get a 25-year-old interested in listening to the radio. I mean, we're free, we're transportable. You don't have to, it doesn't cost you anything. There's no fees to pay for it. You can take us to your car, you can drag us in your computer, you can take us to your pocket. But I have to find the things that will interest someone that is coming into radio. Older people are going to listen to it already. We're indoctrinated into that world, but it's that younger audience that's falling away from print, falling away from radio. So what brings them back to it or what gets them involved in it? So the things we look at as being a tastemaker. Because unless you're a hyperactive 16-year-old with more time than God, how do you find good music? Especially music you like. Because imagine a stack of music this tall, and it's like shit, maybe shit. Oh, and like that one, shit. I can go on for a while, and you just keep going. So inadvertently, we became a tastemaker, the filter, the gatekeepers. That's not what our job was 10 years ago, but it is now. Because I know I can go to a concert and we can play a song, we can play a band, and we can play an artist that, as long as we're promoting them, you guys will find who they are. I just need to play a song and you'll tell me if they're good or not. You'll tell me like, oh my God, we love this band, this artist. Or you'll say, this sucks. They're a one-hit wonder, they're not gonna work. My feedback is immediate and Herculean. It's not like I have to wait once in a while like, oh, I hope we hear back from somebody. It's immediate and it's full throttle. I know if it's a hit, if it's gonna work, if it's gonna play in this market or not. So that to me has been the biggest challenge, is finding our place in the world of how do we fit in of what the culture is now of a 25-year-old.
So kind of going back to you, but did you come to like Ohio State knowing you wanted to be involved in radio, or did you come like meaning to study something else?
Nope, physical therapy. I drove an ambulance when I was in New York, and I came here to go to physical therapy and realized that I'm really not good with all those microbiology things. So I was like, nope, not gonna do it. I always loved music. Grew up with a piano in my house, always music in my house. I saw more concerts. It took me, I think, the first 5 years of working at the radio station to see more concerts than I did growing up. So I mean, I went to see the GBs, I saw the Ramones play there. I've been to Madison Square Garden, you name it. Growing up in the city, it was a $5 train ride from Rahway, New Jersey into the city, and it was concerts. So I saw hundreds. We were talking about the other day, from country western to Judas Priest playing at Asbury Park to Bruce Springsteen to playing racquetball with John Bon Jovi. So it was a wide variety of music I grew up listening to. So no, I just sort of fell into it. Actually, it was dumb luck. I'm a person, and music just it worked out for me. Like I said, my first job was literally walking to the Newport Music Hall and saying, "You're hired." I'm like, "Okay," and realizing very quickly, like, bouncer doesn't make the money bartender does. So I took that job, and it just kind of progressed.
What's kind of the biggest creative challenge that you've ever faced, and how did you overcome that?
Well, I deal with that a lot all the time. Creative challenges are part of having to be problem solving. So creative challenges had to do, probably the biggest one was rebranding, moving from 101 to 102. So I kind of knew what I was going to do, and bull in a china shop, I said, I know exactly what I'm going to do, but not doing it, and asking other people for help, and letting people think that they were part of this solution, being what I assumed I was going to do anyway, and wound up doing it that way, but letting other people input to it. Letting people feel part of something and taking their advice in metered and measured doses, that's probably the biggest challenge. I don't micromanage anybody. I manage by sort of, okay, I'm gonna give you responsibility and do it to the best of your ability. Delegate, decide on the person, the right person for the job, emphasize your goals, leading them down an attractive way, energize the spirit you lead to, give the job away. So there's a whole list of things that delegate stands for. But I think the biggest challenge is the rebranding, moving from 101 to 102, but at the same time, knowing what I was gonna do and not just doing it. Not just saying, fuck everybody, I'm doing exactly what I wanna do. Hey, let's get some input. What do you guys think? Should we do it like this, or should we do it like this? And actually listening, but still doing it the way I want it to go. Is there a question?
Yeah. Do you find it challenging to kind of like appeal to the masses, but at the same time, or appeal to a wide audience, but at the same time, provide them with like interesting new upcoming artists while still remaining like a strong listener?
Yes, we try very hard to create tribe. And in tribe, I mean the sense of loyalty. Listeners, the P1 audience, your diehards. We try very hard to do that, and how we try and do that is being authentic. We know that the minute we say we're cool, we're not. Because it's true. The minute you have that hubris, the minute that you become jaded, literally the minute it happens, you're done. It's over. No matter if you're an employee or the station itself. So we have to think very much that we're the underdog, and we have to be the underdog if we are. So we have to live that life. You know, I joke about it all the time, and please don't take it the wrong way. Grace will know. I always say, look, you know, my Twitter handle, you know, it's Radio Randy. I'm Randy fucking Malloy, you know? But if you take away radio in front of Randy, I'm nobody. I am a 50-year-old long-haired guy that no one gives a shit about. And I'm a footnote in history. And that is the absolute truth. And that is what keeps me awake at night. That is the fear I live by that keeps me going and thinking progressively. And keeps me understanding that tribe is so important, that doing things like this matter. And it doesn't make me cool. I don't think I'm cool. I never have. I think I'm exactly the opposite of that. I'm cool by association of the radio station. The radio station's cool. I'm just lucky to be part of it. So that is something that I instill in everyone that works there, and knowing that that is what allows the audience to feel that, oh, okay, you get it. So when I tell somebody, hey, there's a great concert that's coming, we're not going to tell you the band name, but we sell 2,200 tickets to a show that no one knows who the band is, and it turns out to be the largest show on this band's entire tour, bigger than New York, bigger than LA, bigger than Chicago, and we never even told them what the band is. That's tribe. That's creating that loyalty and that trust with an audience that we're not going to screw you. I'm going to tell you the truth, the information, we're going to be genuine. You know, we're not going to do bombastic things and do stuff just to be stupid and, oh, we got you. And that doesn't work if you want to be genuine. It works if you want to get the ratings and you want to be fake, but to be genuine, you actually have to be that way. Jimmy Kimmel was last night. I don't know if everybody saw the monologue or watched it. He was practically in tears talking about the shooting in Las Vegas. My DJ, Brian Phillips, was the same way in the morning yesterday. It affected him greatly. It affected all of us. You know, I have 3 staff members going to 2 different festivals in 2 days. 2 are going to ACL, 2 are going out west to San Bernardino, California. I was supposed to go, but I'm not going now. So, I mean, I'm going to have 4 staffers in huge festival settings. And I go to concerts all the time. I'm going to one tonight, go from Bordello to Newport. And you have to think that that's a safe place. You can't imagine something like that happening, but it did. And it happened with Eagles of Death Metal in Paris. It happened with Ariana Grande. It happened last night in Vegas. So it's very real to us. It doesn't matter if it's country or Western or rap, or it's irrelevant, the artist, but it's a safe place. It's music. It's what you're supposed to go and enjoy. And when I'm not thinking about the craziness of my day, or what I have to deal with when I get home, or what I deal with tomorrow morning, it's that escape. So that genuineness, that creation of tribe it's people get it, because we don't fake it. Sorry if I'm long-winded. Brevity's not my strong suit. Yes, sir.
Where do you think like the radio industry is kind of headed in the next couple of years?
Well, it's interesting. Where it's been going is that we started a while ago, and by default, by dumb luck, by the fact that we are, as a locally owned independent radio station, we're hyper-local. So we don't have a choice but to be hyper-local, because we are one little unit. We're CD 125 in Columbus, Ohio. We don't have any affiliates. We don't have any, major corporations. I don't own anything else. I own a bar that's above the radio station that, stays in the same space, but it's part of what it is. So hyper-localization is where radio is going to go. Clear Channel, iHeart, J-Core, same alliteration over the past 2 decades. It's going to get disbanded at some point. It just depends how. CBS is selling off to NCOM now, and they're being taken over, they're selling, blah, blah, blah. But what you're going to see is this hyper-localization has to happen. Sirius XM, they try to put repeaters terrestrial-based because they want it to be local. Because, they're great if you're driving across the country, you want to listen to a sports, you want to listen to a genre of music, for a long period of time, that's great. But they have algorithms that are going to tell you, hey, if you like this, you'll like this, and you like this, and like this, and like this. And it doesn't have that human bit to it. Whereas we'll put someone like a Bishop Briggs, and then we'll play someone like the Pixies, and then we'll go back and play Alex Leahy, a new artist that we just added today, that doesn't fit in with this genre. And the computers aren't gonna figure that out. It also has to do with, well, people still wanna know about, well, what's happening this weekend? I mean, think about it. Radio was the initial social media. If you think about it, it's that trusted friend that you ask, hey, what's happening this weekend? Hey, here's a great show coming. Oh, cool. You know, when we play an artist that is gonna play tonight or tomorrow or this weekend, if you look at that band's name on a magazine or print or see it somewhere, oh great, here's this band playing. Cool. It doesn't have the same connection as if you hear that artist play. Hey, this is blah blah, and they're playing, oh my god, I love that band, let's go see them. You connect in a different way to it. So radio, I don't believe is gonna go anywhere. It's gonna turn and be more hyper-local in markets that it hasn't been. You know, if you look at where New York, LA, Chicago, they don't have great radio stations. They play only to the basest corporate level of advertising. And people tell you, it sucks, it sucks, it sucks. And they're shooting themselves in the foot because of that lack of localization. So a lot of stations that are in the not top 10 markets are starting to see that. Even CBS is now starting to sell off and see that they're letting some of these stations program to their market. Whereas that's what we do. We program to Columbus, Ohio. We just had Manchester Orchestra play, sold out the Newport Music Hall, sold out Express Live, 2,300 people. That was the largest number of people at any show they've done this year, and combined. So all the shows up to that show, not that many people came to any of their shows except for the one in Columbus. Not in their hometown of Atlanta, Georgia, not in New York, not in LA. They're playing Terminal 5, more in Columbus, Ohio. Why? Well, because we play them. There was an artist a few years back called Jungle, some ska Brit guys. And they played a show in Chicago, Illinois. They played it on a Thursday night, I think it was Thursday night. 60 people, 6-0. We played them here at the Newport Music Hall. The next night, 800 people. And the lead singer Tom's like, mate, I said, what the fuck? Columbus, Ohio, I've never heard of this place. This is crazy. There's 800 people here. We were in Chicago and there's only 60. Mate, I don't get it. How is it possible? And literally the answer was, we play you. And that was it. We play you. No one had played them in Chicago. So there was no exposure in that grand scheme of things. You know, social media has this intriguing hold on people, but the radio station is kind of like a blanket. You know, you want to boost your post and how many people saw your thing, what's your engagement. You know, I can look at my Twitter and see exactly what my engagement is for every single post. How many people saw my Facebook, my Instagram. Well, it's like, okay, well, there's 23, and there's 75, and there's, wow, we got 1,000 people engaged. Well, the radio station has 120,000 people engaged. So when we post a video or something, it's like, you know, if I don't see 20,000, I'm like, well, where's the problem? What didn't we do right? So it's, again, creating that tribe and hyper-localization, that's what you'll see from radio. Because the bands that are being broken on radio stations, you're seeing those stations survive. Like this summer was great for classic rock stations. They had a really big uptick in their ratings because a lot of people are moving back toward that classic rock music. So younger, and you know, just younger audiences listening because they have older siblings that listen to it, and it's their parents listen to it, and that's where they're seeing a lot of that happening. But again, it's going to be that music discovery and hyper-localization where I see radio moving toward. Yes, sir?
Obviously, you're talking a lot about the hyperlocalization, but is that something, and you mentioned you didn't have affiliates, but is that something that you did entirely on your own, or are there other radio stations that you've worked with that are doing this to stay relevant?
We're kind of an island. We didn't learn those lessons very well in kindergarten. We don't play well with others. So locally in the market, the radio stations don't get along too well. We're not gonna punch each other in the face. We'll say hello to each other when we see each other on the playground, but we're not like, hey, let's go hang out together. So that doesn't work well here. And there are stations that are similar in sound to us, but in other markets, Milwaukee or WLU in Chicago, Q102, Q101 in Chicago is similar. WLUM in Milwaukee, EQX. There's some that sound the same, but the thing is that there's artists that won't play there that will play here. Meaning, I don't mean that they won't physically play, but they don't work there, where they'll work here. It depends on the psychographics of your audience. You know, Columbus is a very transient audience, believe it or not. About 20% turnover every year. We're a million plus people city. So that means there's 200,000 people a year that come and go because they're limited, because of Ohio State, because of the state's capital. So there's a lot of people that come and go and bring musical tastes from other places, as well as take their taste other places. I hear all the time people that leave and go, oh my God, I thought you'd be everywhere. Music sucks in insert city name here. So we have to, we fiddle around with the playlist all the time. So when we hear a band, well, let's try it. The audience may say, wow, we love it. We'll get that feedback very quickly from the audience, the listeners. And if it's great, we keep playing it. We'll continue to play it. And if that artist grows, we'll grow with that artist. There's other artists that just don't ever get it. They never get traction because it just doesn't fit with the city. It doesn't fit with the audience. It doesn't fit with the feel and sound. And whoever is listening doesn't get it. So of course, we're going to look at charts and we're going to look at other, cities and Billboard and hits and all these things, but we have to program to what we are. So there isn't, we're not cookie cutter. We have to be unique. So it is sort of up to us. So we don't really have that affiliation. So I guess to answer your question in a weird way, no, we don't do it the way anybody else does it.
Yeah,
This.
So you talked about like getting immediate feedback. How do people call in? Do people like?
You name it. We have a thing called the sounding board. About 2,000 people are members of it. We ask them questions, and they give us feedback on music, on promotions, on events, on anything and everything that we put on the air. And then we'll get letters from people. I got one today. I never had written to a radio station. I want to say thank you because the way Brian Phillips handled the show this morning. Literally got that today. I got another one today saying, oh my God, stop playing those stupid drops in between songs. I can't stand them. I hate them. They're snarky and stupid and this and this. And so, yes, you name it. Any type of feedback we get. I mean, I run into people, oh, you work at the radio station. Are you a DJ? It's like, no. That's my favorite. I'm like, oh, okay, well, nice to see you too. Because they want to talk music, and I don't know the music. I like it, but if you ask me what artists played CO125 Day 2 years ago, and I'll be like, one of the jocks will be like, oh, well, that was this, because that's where their brain is. That's not where my brain is. So.
I do get to interrupt. We only have the room for another, I think, 1 minute. I totally forgot about it. I saw a couple people outside. I do want to flip things over first to Alexandria. If there's anything that you want to say about this thing that's going on tomorrow. We touched on Las Vegas for a second. We're going to have a thing on the Oval. If you want to talk a little bit more about it.
Yeah, I found online, I was just looking like, how can I help with this? Like, as soon as it happened,